there's a great sign the fact that the Yankees can win these games. That they can win these low-scoring, tight-knit games where you're dominated by another guy's starter. The Yankees' problem through the playoffs the last couple of years, Stacey, is they don't win these games.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias, and with me, as usual, my co-host, Brian McKeon, right there. Brian, what an ending to the game, huh?
Yeah, a walk-off, plus you got to see an unbelievable pitching battle between deGrom and Judge. Really a game with a lot of eventfulness if New York was watching.
Right. All right. Before we get started, don't forget, subscribe to Locked On Yankees on whichever podcasting platform you prefer. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube, like our videos, hit the bell so you're notified whenever our videos go live. On today's show, previewing Thursday afternoon's game. The game is later today at 12:35. It's an early one because the Yankees have to fly out to Colorado to play on Friday. So we're going to preview the finale between Nathan Eovaldi and Carlos Rodon. Carlos Rodon was pushed back a day. Is this series a possible playoff preview? We're going to discuss that because it is. Anything's possible, but it really is possible. But first, let's talk about the game. You mentioned the deGrom factor, but can we talk about Ryan Yarbrough? Because he went toe-to-toe with deGrom pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, deGrom's stuff looked better if we're going to measure that. But overall, I mean, Yarbrough, what a performance to pretty much stay toe-to-toe with Jacob deGrom throughout this entire game. I will say, watching him, I know most of our listeners probably didn't see a ton of Jacob deGrom. Certainly heard his name a lot because of the Mets, but didn't watch a ton of his starts. But Stacey, I mean, watching him, dear God, is he good? I mean, he is electric out there. I mean, and this is coming off the injury where he's pretty much missed the last 2 seasons. That Judge deGrom at-bat that we got in the middle of this game where the ball kept getting fouled off to a 3-2 count. I mean, and you saw both of them kind of acknowledge each other after the at-bat of like that kind of stuff in sports. I know we love the rivalries and the trash talk and stuff, but like that kind of stuff is so cool when it's 2 top-tier competitors going at it and they both are able to acknowledge each other afterwards. Like, yeah, we both know we're really good. And that was an all-time battle. That stuff, you don't see that a lot in baseball. So that was an all-timer just to get to watch. But the Yankees do have that in Garrett Cole, right? And they've had it with Max Fried. But a guy with stuff that's that electric, there's an element to it. And like, we're going to get into it in segment 2, but it is sort of a pre-nomer to that. Like, that's what makes this sport so difficult to predict because you are really as good as your next day's starter. The Texas Rangers could have easily won this baseball game if it's not for Ryan Yarbrough and the way the Yankees pitched. But overall, I mean, to be able to battle deGrom like that, I've been saying this a lot, and we both agreed on this too. There's a great sign the fact that the Yankees can win these games. That they can win these low-scoring, tight-knit games where you're dominated by another guy's starter. The Yankees' problem through the playoffs the last couple of years, Stacey, is they don't win these games. These are the games they lose. Winning this game tonight and winning these types of games the last few days, it's a huge positive sign for me watching them going forward.
Right. So Yarbrough, 5 innings, not that you expected him to go much longer than that, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts. He made some guys look really silly at the plate. The 1 run and one of the hits was the home run to Berger, who later hit a home run in the game. He had 2. So they knew that he wasn't going to last long. They knew it was going to be more of a bullpen game. But again, he was pretty great during those 5 innings. I watched closely one of the innings where, who was it at bat? The guy actually ended up getting on base because he got like an excuse me single toward the left side. It kind of like went in between Bibas and Yarbrough, so they couldn't really get to it, and he hit it off the end of his bat, but he made him look silly in the previous 2 pitches, and that's what it was. Like, they were swinging at balls that were, he threw a 70-mile-an-hour pitch.
Yeah.
That was preceded by an 86-mile-an-hour pitch. So the guy swinging, I don't know what he was expecting coming across the plate, but it looked like a cartoon where a guy gets like drilled into the ground. Like, it looked like he could have done that at one point.
You know, what's funny too is it does show, you know, a little bit of an unfortunate aspect of where the game is right now, because Kane O'Neill made this point. Look at a guy like Yarbrough, right? Getting through the start, 8 innings, 5 runs, 5 innings, 8 strikeouts. Really pitches well, dominates throughout the game. Is able to locate his pitches, deceptive lefty with a lot of movement, is able to put it in spots where it's hard to hit, and changes up the velocity. So really is a nightmare for a lot of batters up there. In today's modern day era of baseball, Stacey, he wouldn't get drafted.
No.
Think about that. He wouldn't get drafted. Nobody would touch him because the velocity's too down, the spin rate's not up, whatever. They would not draft him, and that's still an effective pitcher in today's game. It was a great point made by Kay and O'Neill, where it's like that's kind of not a great spot to really state where the sport is at when stuff like that is happening, because you know that he would not get drafted in today's sport. He wouldn't.
No, and that's the beauty of him, because you have guys who are throwing in the high 90s, and everyone's used to the fastball being so hard and sinkers being hard and cutters being hard. And this guy's throwing 70-mile-an-hour sweepers across the plate.
I'll tell you this. He might be a very valuable weapon in a postseason game, especially following up a guy like if Will Warren gets a playoff start, if Luis Gil gets a playoff start, if Carlos Rodon gets a playoff start. These flamethrowers the Yankees have as starters. Imagine seeing Rodon, or imagine when Cole's healthy, and you're seeing 98 to 100 on fastballs, and then all of a sudden Yarbrough follows up where he's throwing 68 miles an hour. You laugh, but for a hitter that's seeing a certain thing all day, that's a really tough thing to follow up at the plate right there. So he could turn into a really solid weapon for them.
Yep. Let's talk about the offense. Cody Bellinger. I can't say enough about him lately because he has just really taken off, and he hit another belly bomb, and I just like what I'm seeing out of him. I knew that he was going to pick things up. I didn't think, some people were panicking after the first month, which, have you watched baseball? Everyone?
Specifically the Yankees. How many players the Yankees have done this over the last couple of years?
I mean, remember Aaron Judge's bad April just a year ago?
I mean, and Mark Teixeira every year of his Yankee career.
Yep.
I mean, it happens, but I mean, he's got a 15-game hitting streak. He's hitting 383 over those 15 games. I mean, he's been outstanding, Stacey. I mean, so good over this time span.
Yeah, and his home runs are not like cheapies because, the wind and the rain and the weather was not great tonight, and he hit it through the elements. I would also like to take credit for the fact that since I trashed Anthony Volpe, not really trashed him, but since I discussed how he was playing, he's hit the ball and he's contributed in the last 2 games. So you're welcome.
I think the star power and the storylines around this lineup of guys that have performed really well to start the year, specifically Judge, but also Ben Rice. There's a lot of guys that are getting, plus, Trent Grisham. A lot of guys are getting a lot of attention at the top of this lineup, and it's allowing the guys that have gotten off to slow starts at the plate to kind of figure things out and actually work through their problems without scrutiny being on top of them 24/7, right?
Yep.
But this helps a guy out like Anthony Volpe. He kind of is able to watch the film, figure things out, and work through his struggles, as opposed to every tabloid in the United States being, grilling him for getting off to a poor start. A guy that it's really helped out, besides Cody Bellinger, Jasson Dominguez. Mm-hmm. And you followed up with the home run to end this game. That was certainly a great at bat. I mean, wow, what a hit! But besides that, Stacey, him too over the last 2-3 weeks, his at bats have been tremendous. Every count's a deep count for him. He puts the ball on play consistently, and it doesn't feel like Dominguez is ever looking for the home run ball. Right? It's just if it gets off his bat at the right spot, he'll take the home run. But he's spraying the ball all over the field. He's just and you know what? He may not be getting the credit he deserves right now, but he's also was not getting the hate that he might have, I wouldn't say deserved, but that fans would have wanted to give him at the start of the year. So double fold there, but I mean, Dominguez has been unbelievably solid at the plate too over the last 2 or 3 weeks also. Yeah.
This is from James Smythe of Yes about the walk-off. So the last walk-off home run before Wednesday nights was Stanton's home run, the walk-off grand slam against the Pirates the night that Judge hit his 60th home run in 2022. Now, this is interesting. Now, they weren't called walk-off home runs. They weren't walking off in the early 1900s, but the longest walk-off streak or between home runs for the Yankees was 2,974 days. From May 3rd, 1906 to June 24th, 1914. they went without a walk-off home run. They may have had walk-offs, and again, they weren't really considered walk-offs. It was just like the last at bat you hit and you win the game. So they went from, in Teddy Roosevelt's presidential term, made it all the way through Taft's term, and then walked off after Taft. Like, Taft had his entire presidency in that point where the Yankees, it took them 2,900, it almost took them 3,000 days to have a walk-off home run. So if you thought the drought was bad from 2022, no.
It does feel long, though, right? It feels like they've
That's
had
a long time. Like,
one.
they've had walk-offs, but walk-off home runs, considering 2009, all the different walk-offs they had, because a lot of them were actual home runs when they had those 17, 18 walk-offs in that season. So quickly, let's just review the bullpen, because, they were in there for a while. So Loizaga was in. Hill gave up the second home run to Jake Berger. Jake Berger's a pain in the butt. He was a pain in the butt with the White Sox. He was a pain in the butt with the Marlins.
And you called it in the offseason when they signed him, by the way.
I did.
You said it. You're like, this guy's going to be a problem for a lot of teams. What a great signing. And it's turning out that way, too.
Yeah. Hamilton had another iffy outing. That's 2 nights in a row. Gave up 1 run, only got 1 out, gave up a home run to Haggerty. De Los Santos got into some trouble, but wiggled out of it. Luke Weaver was Luke Weaver. His ERA is 0.42.
Incredible. And he's been so good. He's giving them no option but to keep him in.
Yeah, he's been amazing. So good win, good comeback win for the Yankees. Nice clutch hitting, unlike other teams in New York who did not have a fun time late in their game. We don't have to discuss it.
No.
Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on our videos, hit the notifications so you know when our videos go up. You can also join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. The link is in the description. You'll get text from us. You can text us questions, comments, reactions to trades and signings. I will send you out the lineups during the season, any roster moves that are made, breaking news. We have conversations during the games, reactions during the games. It's a lot of fun. There's a 14-day free trial. Coming up, was this series, or is this series, because it's still not done yet, against the Rangers a possible playoff preview? It could be. So let's discuss it next.
Get the supplies you need from the site that's made for the skilled trades, Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with the complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for the extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts available on every order. Now, thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage, and now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering your plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, you can use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com.
So we have a new fun way for you to leave questions for us on Fan Mail Friday. If you go to YouTube, go to our page, you click on posts, and if you scroll down just a teeny bit, you will see where I put the deadline for this week. So it's later today on Thursday at 5 p.m. Get those questions in and ask us anything you want.
So, Stacey, I thought of an interesting topic earlier this week and kind of wanted to bring it up going into this Texas series because I was kind of inspired, I guess, if you would call it, going into the Knicks postseason and kind of thinking about you build a team 2 different ways, right? You build them for the regular season to get you to the postseason. And then you kind of need aspects built into your regular season team that get you to the playoffs that will help you win in the playoffs. Because teams win games different ways in the playoffs. Like, I'll give you an example, right? I think in baseball, a lot of teams go after the guys that hit a lot of home runs. And that, for certain, will win you a lot of games in the regular season and can certainly get you a playoff berth in the regular seasons. But you've seen with teams like Philadelphia last year, for example, the Yankees most years, right? Once you get to the playoffs, if you're a home run reliant team, tends to be a lot more harder to hit home runs. You know why? Because once you're in the postseason, you're now facing the best pitchers in the league almost every single night. And those guys don't give up home runs just as easily. They don't make mistakes just as easily, and it's hard to hit home runs just as easily. So there's two kind of ways to build your team. And I was thinking about why the Texas Rangers are a nightmare of a team to see in the postseason, and a team that I think the Yankees really need to, maybe at the deadline, try to acquire guys that can counteract what the Rangers do. Because the Rangers are able to win these low-scoring games, and they're able to pop off the home runs. They're built perfectly as a team that can play small ball, steal bases, create havoc on the base paths, but also add a power element to their game, right? Especially with adding a guy like Jake Berger. Now, Jake Berger is not going to go out there and steal 40 bases a year. He's not doing anything crazy, but he'll pop a quick home run off for you and give a team a lead. Look at a guy like Corey Seager, who is able to steal bases, a 5-tool player, give a lot of power, certainly power in the clutch, right? Marcus Semien. The list goes on of guys on this team that can do a lot and create a lot of havoc. Plus, you go to the starting pitching staff. And I know Patrick Corbin is what Patrick Corbin is, right? I wouldn't necessarily fully trust him in a playoff game, but Jacob deGrom, Nathan Eovaldi. Do you fully trust Max Fried or Carlos Rodon over those two guys definitively in a playoff game? I don't think so. They are just built, and I think Texas too, who generally does have pretty deep pockets, Stacey, they're not going to be afraid to add at the deadline. So this is a team that I'd be pretty terrified of going into a postseason series, and I would try from the Yankees to add a bat or two of a guy that's going to be able to give you a high on-base percentage. Because you're going to need that. You're going to need guys on base. You're going to need to force Texas to make some mistakes out there. They're a deep team. They're a really good lineup, and they can play these small ball games, and they can win playoffs. I think they're built for a postseason.
It's funny that you're saying this, because while the game was going on, I was DMing with Bryce from Locked On Rangers, who was complaining about how his team can't hit the ball right now, and he said, "Can your pitchers please help my guys out and allow them to hit, because I'm sick of watching them not hit." And I was like, they're probably just going through a phase. He's like, they went through this phase all last season too. I'm sick of it.
Yeah, but they're better this year.
Sure.
They're a lot better this year.
They're a lot better this year, but I just thought that was really funny, because he was just in shambles during the game. And then when the Yankees went ahead, when the Rangers went ahead, of course he was happy after, Berger and Haggerty hit those late home runs. But it's funny that you bring that up, because if you speak to Bryce, who covers the team, but he's also a big fan of the team, he thinks totally different than that. It's just funny.
It's funny, last year when the Yankees were going through their spells, right? And we were all angry and stuff like that. Meanwhile, if you ask 90% of the league, they tell you they die to be in the position the Yankees were in last year. Right. So it is, you do have a different perception of your team when you're watching it. I just think, too, there's an element to this too that does kind of disturb me a little bit if it goes into a playoff series with the Rangers. Missing the playoffs the year prior, I think in a weird way kind of helps them. Now, you don't want to miss the playoffs, obviously, but hear me out. A team that wins the World Series, like in their recent past and can remember it, and then has a missed playoff year, it kind of puts a jolt into you. It kind of gives you something to prove. It puts a chip on your shoulder out there. So now they're the weird scenario of a team that has a chip on their shoulder and something to prove, but also has a World Series pedigree attached to them. So you kind of have both of those things, which most teams don't generally have going forward. You have players that have performed in the biggest moments, players that can perform in the clutch, guys that can both provide on-base and power in big moments, plus dominant starting pitching. They're a team that really scares me. And I think anyone in the AL, does anybody really scare you? Because, listen, it's not early, it's not over yet, but the team that we thought was going to compete with the Yankees most for the American League East just fired their manager. Okay? And the Orioles are it's getting late early for them. It really is. And they're falling pretty quickly. And for everything that we thought Boston had the potential to be, and I'm sure they can still be that, there's a lot of problems in paradise there too, Stacey. Rafael Devers doesn't want to play, it appears. Garrett Crochet's been great, but they don't score. And that's with Alex Bregman hitting 340. They don't score. So no one in the American League, and the Blue Jays have been good, but as we've said all year, prove it to me. Stay consistent all year. Win games like this all year, and then we'll believe you. So the Yankees are entering into a spot where they're not going to have much competition in the American League when it comes to the playoffs. But the Rangers are a team that scares the daylights out of me. Just being honest.
You brought up the Blue Jays. They were beating up on the Padres on Wednesday
Mhm.
night. The last I saw, it was 12-0 because Dalton Varsho hit a grand slam to make it 12-0. What the heck happened to the Padres? The Yankees seem to have killed them because they haven't done well at all since
It's fallen apart.
the Yankees played them. Yeah.
Teams go through spells. The problem with them is they can't really afford to go through a spell because their division's so good. But the Dodgers are also really into. The Dodgers have lost 4 in a row too, so that division's in a weird spot too.
Yeah, it's a strange season so far. The teams that you expected to be good, some are not, like the Orioles. Teams that you were kind of like, maybe they'll be good, are doing way better than you thought, like the Tigers.
Yeah.
The Orioles just really, I feel like we have a discussion about the Orioles once a week. They really,
rightfully so.
They confound me. I'm flabbergasted at how bad they are. But then again, what did they do in the offseason? They replaced what's his name? Why can't I think of his name? The one who left. The one who left
Santander?
to Arizona. No. The one that went to Arizona, the pitcher.
Oh, Corbin Burns.
I was thinking Patrick Corbin, and it was confusing me. Corbin Burns with Charlie Morton, essentially.
Yeah, no, and your best power back from last year in Santander, they let walk and did nothing about it. And they let him walk to a division rival, by the way, who now has the lead of you in the division. Yeah. But that one, too, is, and we've seen teams bounce back from bad starts before, but rarely is it teams that fire their manager in May and get off to a start this bad after doing nothing in the offseason. They're not, this isn't a team that's waiting for someone to come back in July off an injury or something like that. There's no Luis Gil coming back from them. And so they're in a world of hurt.
And not only did they fire their manager, but it took Mike Elias like 4 days to talk about it. And he's like, I was doing other things. First of all, it's your fault and the ownership's fault that the team is built the way it is. Why are you firing Brandon Hyde? Like, it's not his
Brandon
fault.
Hyde, who, by the way, is the guy that was with this team through the 50-win seasons. Mm-hmm. He was hired in between that mess. So he went through the 50-win seasons, dealt with the bad years to get the good draft picks, finally saw them to a 100-win season, and now you let him go? After he gets, you would have, not that they've been off to a good start, but you would think that after all the work that Brandon Hyde had put in the years prior, he'd get a little more leeway to kind of try and figure this out or see this through. That shows that there's a little bit of trouble going on in the front office there too.
Yeah. I do agree with you though with Texas. If they make the playoffs, because if they have a season where they're, kind of middling for a while because maybe the offense doesn't kick in and maybe they can't, like maybe the pitching's doing well and they're losing close games because they can't get the offense going and maybe they don't make the playoffs. I mean, it's possible. You never know.
I think if they're 500 right now, I don't see Houston playing this well all year. I mean, they've proven me wrong before, but that the star power is not there that it's been there from years past.
True.
Right? The Angels are going to fall off because they always do. And then Seattle even if Texas gets a wild card spot with the extra spot added on this year too, by the way, even if Texas gets in that way, you're going to have you're going to have Jacob deGrom pitching in a wild card game.
Right.
And I mean, do you love the Texas's chances in that spot? And I'm sorry if they got to play.
Or you could have Nate Eovaldi pitch in the wild card game and then Jacob deGrom pitch in game 1 of whatever division series or wild card series you go into.
Either way, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare for whatever team you're playing. And then look at the other teams that they want to play. Minnesota. You trust Jacob deGrom or whoever Minnesota's throwing out there. Seattle. I mean, I like Seattle's pitching, but are they going to score any runs versus deGrom? I mean, they don't score runs against anybody else. I doubt they're going to do it against deGrom. It's just anyone that they're going to run into. I can't imagine them not getting a wild card spot. Yeah. And anybody they run into, I don't see how they're a threat to anybody they can play. Again, with the pedigree, the mix in the lineup, the starting rotation, and plus that this is all counting, by the way, if Flaherty figures it, if Jack Leiter figures it out, because if he figures it out and starts pitching like the number 1 overall pick and kind of keeps going on the momentum that he had early on in the year, that's a really scary team going forward. I'm just telling you that this could be a team that. This could be the team coming in that everyone's like, I don't want to play them. I hope someone knocks them off earlier. That's what I see out of them.
Yeah. All right. Coming up next, previewing the finale of the series with the Rangers between Carlos Rodon and Nate Eovaldi. So 12:35 start because the Yankees are heading out to Colorado for the weekend and couldn't have an off day between flying out to Colorado and playing in New York. Of course not. So 12:35 start. Carlos Rodon 5-3 with a 3.17 ERA. Nate Eovaldi 4-2 with a 1.61 ERA on 161st Street.
How is he still so good? It feels like Eovaldi's been in the league since 2002, and he's still so good.
Yeah, it's
and he dominates the Yankees.
It's incredible how much better he became after he left the Yankees.
He kills them. He's so good against the Yankees.
It's so annoying. I hate it. I can't stand it.
Yeah, it's very aggravating. I want to say this too, that the 12:35 start doesn't help us either, because is it going to be enough time to recover from the Knicks loss? I don't think it was such an unbelievable meltdown. Is that equivalent? I know it's not same level, but is that equivalent to 2001? It's got to be somewhat, right?
What do you mean?
The feeling of it. It's not a game 7, but for the Yankees in 2001.
No.
Is that no? It's just because it's a World Series. That's an all-time meltdown.
World Series. 9/11 happened how many months before? There was a lot of stuff going into that series. You know, like the Knicks losing game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals in a bad way doesn't compare at all.
They were up 14 with 2 minutes to play.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an all-time bad blown lead.
Yeah.
And then a buzzer beater sends you to overtime. I know what you're saying, but that's an all-timer.
Sure.
All-time bad.
Sure. But, World Series, Game 7, Mo on the mound. Again, the 9/11 stuff, because that was affecting all of us for months afterwards. Like, I don't think younger people don't understand what it was like after 9/11. Even if you didn't have someone that you knew directly, you knew someone who knew someone, or you knew someone who was married to someone, or it was just... Or you watched it on TV live like I did, because I decided to stay home that day because I had a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach that I didn't want to be in Manhattan that day, which I'm still freaked out about to this day. If something my brain was telling me, don't go to work, just don't do it. Yeah, no, it's not. No.
Yeah,
I think the Knicks will be fine. I just wish they could have.
I hope they'll be fine, because that was an important game that they just really hard. I got a question for you though, as a sports fan, because I wonder how I always wonder how other people do this. What is your process with in this time of year with big basketball, big other sporting events with the Yankees? Because obviously me and you both prioritize the Yankees. Are you a master of the last button on your television? Are you an iPad out, cell phone, second TV? What's your process?
Yeah. Yankees on TV, Knicks on iPad for my brother, computer for me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm generally a 2 TV kind of person, and in the other sense, I could be too lazy to get the other TV out. So I've become a master of the last button over the years. It's just a skill that I've developed.
Last button when the Yankees are on Prime, because you have to shut out of Prime.
Very annoying. Very annoying.
Like it would take. So that's why no. So we kept them up on. We kept the Yankees on the TV on Prime. And can someone else let me know about this? We always have an issue with when they come back from commercial, there's a line down the middle of the screen.
Yep. It's everybody. Yeah, I don't know why.
Okay, good. Because it drives my brother crazy. And I'm like, I wonder if it happens to everyone else or if it's just us, because it's really frustrating.
No.
Okay, good. So it's a Prime thing, not an us thing. That makes me feel better.
Unless it's just the two of us, in which case it'd be very strange.
Right.
Also, how about the story that Garrett Cole is apparently trying to go after Matt Blake's job for pitching coach? He's apparently been unbelievably involved behind the scenes with the iPad and the analytics and getting involved. Will Warren's crediting him to turning his season around.
Hey, I said it when he got hurt. And I said it when he was hurt last year, and he was like the de facto pitching coach. Like, it's a really good thing to have Garrett Cole in your ear, because he loves talking about pitching. He's really good at pitching, and he can help you pitch. So, I mean,
it's like scary, like how if he's able to turn around guys like this, like watch Garrett Cole become one of the better pitching coaches in all of baseball.
Yeah,
like I watch it, because I wouldn't be surprised at all if he gets that involved. Like he's a master, but apparently Will Warren was saying in between rehab stints that, not rehab appointments that Garrett Cole has, he's studying on the iPad, putting up pitching game plans and everything like that. Like, he's really getting into it. I mean, good for the Yankees. Again, It's a great brain to have back there when it comes to pitching, but
But that's good for him too, because it's got to be hard for him having to have the surgery, knowing that you're going to be out for a while. This gives him something to do. It makes him feel important. And if it's helping the guys, then why not?
Yeah, no, and it's really hard. I didn't get to talk about this with you because I was out, but I mean, Will Warren, this is now 10 strikeouts. It's 3 straight starts where he's going crazy with the strikeouts. Where did that come from? He's been
I said it on Wednesday's show. Ben Rice, in his post-game interview on Tuesday night, Meredith had asked him, you've been around Will Warren, you were with him in the minors, does this kind of start surprise you? He says, no, he's always had the stuff. I'm just glad he's putting it all together. So
it's got to be something great for him at the major league level to finally feel like he's putting it together, because we haven't seen this level of consistency from him yet at the major league level. I didn't like how they handled last year, where they were basically had him on the AAA or quadruple A taxi squad, where he's back and forth. That's not a way for a player to settle into a career.
But what did I say during the offseason about him? I said that's actually going to help him, and it'll probably help him be better this season because he has that experience under his belt. Same thing with Ben Rice. I thought the same thing. I said he has that experience under his belt, and he'll be better this year. And so far, both of them.
Great. Yeah, both of them. Unbelievable. Mm-hmm. Unbelievable.
Yep. So sometimes I'm right. Sometimes I'm wrong. It's just the way life works. All right. Well, thank you for making Locked On Yankees your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, all season long. Get local analysis on a national scale. You can find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. So that'll do it for this edition of Locked On Yankees. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias.
And I'm Brian McKeon. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.